Hello, Mr. Ullman here. Welcome to IB Biology. In this video, I want to give you a little bit of an introduction into the reason why it is that this class and other diploma program courses that you may be enrolled in, why it is that they seem so different than courses that you've taken previously. There's certainly going to be an adjustment period. That's understandable. It takes time to figure out how to learn in an IB course. However, it's important for you to understand where it is that I'm coming from in setting up the class in the way that I am. So in this video, I'm going to go through a little bit of the philosophy behind which IB has asked me to implement this course for you. Central to the IB program is you. Even though much of our class time is going to be consumed with the time that it takes to learn all the content required for the course, I know that biology is here on the periphery, and that your development is the most important thing that needs to happen over the course of the next 2 years. So now let's get to the learning. A teacher once told me that learning is a slow, transformational process that is shaped by conversation. And I think that this statement really encapsulates a lot of the things that I will elaborate on. The fact that it's slow, that should be a signal to you that the change isn't going to happen overnight. Very few students come into a diploma program class and achieve instant success. Be patient. With time, you're going to see that your academic skills develop in ways that you never even thought possible. Learning and education as a whole is transformational, and the opportunities that you're going to have once you leave my class and once you leave high school are going to be far more open-ended than they would have been had you not been in this program. And finally, that this is a social activity, that conversation is necessary. Answers are boring. Answers don't spark conversation, but questions do. And questions are really central to what it is that's going to happen in this course. So with that, we're going to take a look now at the 6 approaches to teaching. I'm going to briefly summarize what those approaches are, and then explain to you how it is that you're going to see that in my course. It starts with inquiry. And inquiry is the open-ended process in which you, the student, is constructing understandings of the content based upon your experiences in and out of my class. And so as we look below the black line, how it is that that corresponds to what's happening in biology class. Well, first, you should see me as a guide. I'm not going to be talking at you for the majority of class. Each day, most of the time that you spend in biology will be spent in your small group, doing activities, doing lab work, talking about what it is that you've learned through your homework. And I'm going to be there as your guide to answer questions and to spur you on to be able to help you to refine your understanding in ways that allow you to be able to be more successful and build deeper understanding. Questions are very important. I will be constantly asking you questions, and that's what you should be doing of each other as well. And in answering those questions, you should be looking for evidence. In many cases, we'll have structured activities in class that are going to help us to be able to do that. Things like case studies, simulations, and labs. The second approach is conceptual understanding. You're not just building knowledge about biology, but rather you're understanding how it is that life works. You're linking together the skills, concepts, and content that make up the different parts of what biology are. And so you're going to be more successful if you move beyond trying to just memorize bits of information. But rather, successful students look at life and see the underlying principles that extend across all of the units that we're going to study in the next 2 years. Contexts are the third approach. Contexts are going to ground your learning in personal experiences with your community and with the larger world. So fieldwork. This is a way that we can ground our learning in our school community, going outside and investigating what is in and around our classroom and our building. Being able to take field trips to other places in the city and other institutions where we can be able to study and learn. And then to be able to read and do case studies that allow us to link what we're learning in class to current events and issues that are going on in the broader world. The next approach is collaboration. Learning is social, requiring cooperation between students and also between students and myself. So when working with each other, you're going to have structures that are going to require you to be able to talk to each other on a regular basis, to make decisions, to review, to ask questions. And so you're going to be sitting with other students at all times in this course. I think that collaboration with me is also important. And things like our end-of-unit reflections, the questions that you ask, these are things that are going to allow you to interject and change not only the discussion of the day, but sometimes change the activities that we do based upon your interests, based upon the things that you need help with. And so the more information you share with me, then the better I'm going to be able to shape our class in a way that allows you to learn better. Fifth, we have differentiation. And this is the active planning that I do to make sure that I can meet the diverse needs of the students in my class. You are not all the same as each other. You learn in different ways. You have different strengths and weaknesses. You bring different experiences to the class. And this is something that requires me to do work to be able to, as best as I can, meet each of those needs. Because we all have the same goal. We want to learn biology. We want to grow as individuals, as learners in the course. And of course, we want to get good grades and be able to do well on our examination. Because I know that one schedule can't meet everybody's needs, I've developed something I call the mod schedule, which is going to allow you to enter into the decision-making process about what we do and when we do it. You as a small group are going to be able to influence the pacing, how quick or how slow you move through a given topic based upon how quickly you and your table mates pick that up. I provide multiple options for you to be able to engage in content. For some of you, it might be watching a video. For others, it's going to be reading. For others, it's going to be listening. And so this is going to allow you to be able to select activities that are going to play to your strengths as a learner. I provide opportunities for reassessment because I know that not everybody can get it the first time. Additionally, I offer office hours, so I have hours set aside each week where you can come in and ask questions, where you can work on homework, where you can reassess, you can get feedback, you can work with each other. And so this is another opportunity for you to get some of that extra time outside of our class hours. Finally, assessment. This is the system that I set up to support your learning through a cycle of assessment and feedback. And this is set up based upon the criteria that IB has defined for me as your IB biology teacher. This assessment is broken up into three main parts. The formative assessment, which utilizes criterion-based grading. Again, this is the subject of another video. Those summative assessments are going to predominantly be exams and lab reports. And so these are designed using authentic IB questions. I take questions that appeared on IB tests in the past, and I give those to you so that you can become familiar over the next 2 years with the style and substance of the IB examinations. Now, ATL stands for Approach to Learning, which is the second part of this video. So what I'm going to do now is describe to you the 5 approaches to learning. You, as the student, are the learner. You are the one who is going to develop each of these sets of skills over the course of time. Now, IB's list of academic skills that are necessary include 3 categories. Cognitive skills, and think of these as those studied skills that you need to be able to think and process information. But also metacognitive skills. So here, this is the monitoring and evaluation of your learning. This involves a lot of reflection and deeper thinking about what and how it is that you as a learner are doing in your course. And finally, your affective skills. So here, this is the emotional part of it. How do you feel about what it is that you're learning? And also your behavior. So Are you being resilient? Are you sticking with it even though it might be kind of hard? So similarly as with the approaches to teaching, I'll explain briefly what the 5 sets of skills are and then tell you how it is that that's going to play out in class. First, thinking skills. So IB wants you to develop as a critical thinker, to be able to develop metacognitive skills, and to be able to reflect more deeply. Now in order to do this, because this is hard, it takes time, it takes practice, and it takes guidance. And so that's why we operate the class as a flipped classroom. At home, you should be doing the simpler cognitive tasks. You should be learning new terminology. You should be learning some of the basic concepts. You should be outlining processes that are significant to living things. And so you're going to be using things like textbooks and videos which are produced by me as a way to be able to get an introduction and a basic understanding of some of the core content. But what you do is that you bring that baseline information into school. And at school, working in small groups, you're going to practice, reinforce, you're going to extend your learning, you're going to review, you're going to link together different parts of the curriculum, and you're going to reflect on your learning through the different activities that I have planned for you. This is the hard work of learning. But the reason why I want you to do this in school is because this is the part that you need help with. These harder things are where my job as a coach is really going to come in. The second set is your communication skills. This is your ability to read, write, listen, and speak. And in my class, using scientific language. What you're going to be challenged to do is to be able to learn to read technical information, the diagrams and the text that's in textbooks and in scientific journals. You're going to practice writing because your lab reports are going to be are going to utilize the same communication skills that is expected of professional scientists. Next is the social skills. Social skills include your collaboration with your peers and collaboration with me. And that collaboration is a fundamental part of how it is that you're going to learn and who it is that you're going to be as a learner. In your groups, you should be discussing scientific information. Even though it might not come naturally to you, we're going to work on your ability to be able to communicate with your peers some of that information that you're learning. And so those skills to be able to communicate that is an important part of being able to make learning that social process that it's supposed to be. Your self-management skills include your organizational ability, such as how it is that you manage your time, how it is that you manage resources, and also your affect, how it is that your interior view towards your learning and towards this class. That includes things like being resilient. So when things are difficult, when you have a challenging assignment, when you have a big test coming up, do you continue to work towards it? Are you motivated to learn? Are you motivated to be able to achieve and to be successful and to do the work necessary to be successful in class? And also your mindfulness. So are you really present and in the moment when you're in my class? Are you thinking about biology and biology and thinking about math and thinking about English in English class? You're going to develop some of those self-management skills through, again, our mod schedule, making decisions about when it is you're going to assess, about how it is that you're going to prepare for assessments, and really learning to take control of that process of learning that happens over the course of a unit. The fifth set of skills is your research skills. And so here it's important for you to be able to find and evaluate information that comes from a variety of sources, and to be able to use that appropriately in projects we do in class, and most importantly, our internal assessments. So remember, when things get tough, I'm not trying to torture you, but I've put a lot of effort and a lot of thought into setting up this course in a way that gives you experiences that are going to help you to develop into a mature learner. It may take time, but you can do it, and I'm always here to help. Thank you.